Hey guys, so yeah, um, as you can tell from the title of the video, I was wrong, and that happens a lot, believe it or not. You could just ask Alyssa, she'll own up to that too. So when we moved to the country, we thought, New Zealand of course, that it would be best to buy one brand new car that's more expensive maybe for the family, and that we could live off of that with us working the same job. It would be fine. We're close enough to bike, so if I had to, I could bike to work and then she could drive. I think I got distracted by the shiny new car. So because of that, we reflected and we thought about it and we decided that, yeah, it's really hard to kind of get by when you only have one vehicle. It really is. Whether or not one of us has to take Charlotte to the doctor, or one of us has to go and get groceries at the same time, or I mean, there's just so many different variations of things that can happen where you both need a car. So that's our biggest mistake, I think, so far, we would say, in New Zealand, is that we spent a pretty good amount of money into one car and then had to kind of tuck our tails 4 months later and 5 months later and change it in for two cars. So I would definitely suggest, guys, if you're coming to New Zealand, and it was nice having that car. It was very nice. It was a Haval H6. It had reverse cameras and 360-degree cameras on top of the car, which was nice because when you're getting used to driving completely opposite of what you do all the time and what you were born and raised to do, it is very convenient to push that button and just see all the cars around you when you're pulling into parking spaces, pulling out of parking spaces, or even on just tight curves. So I will admit that was super nice, and it was very helpful for Alyssa, especially getting used to driving in New Zealand. But we took a hit. That's what happens when you buy a brand new car. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it loses money, it loses its value. So I'm not going to tell you exactly how much, but it definitely was noticeable. We were still able to get two cars, two very I think nice cars, without having to spend any extra money. So basically, what we did was we took the Haval H6. We went through Pierce Brothers up in Auckland, and we said, hey, this is what we've got. We want two cars, preferably a sedan and an SUV. We floated around the Ute for a little bit, the utility truck, and decided it just wasn't gonna work out. But what we ended up getting was this 2016 Mazda, and then also a 2014 Ford Territory. And the Ford Territory, it's actually kind of funny. It's American brand Ford, but I have never once in my entire existence seen a Ford Territory, this specific type of car. It's very unusual. It's a little bit different. One of the things that is funny around here for New Zealand especially, and a lot of you guys who live here know exactly what I'm talking about, uh, a lot of sedans have hitches on them, and that is so weird. In America, you don't really see sedans with hitches because people don't tow things in sedans. It's just a little bizarre. But for here, it's just a commonality. It's everywhere. Everyone's got a sedan with a hitch. I'm proud to say that I found a sedan that does not have a hitch, and that our SUV does have a hitch, which is totally fine. It works. I've never driven anything on the hitch before, so hopefully I never have to. But just one of those funny things you notice when you're looking at cars and you're shopping cars online. It's like, oh my gosh, look at all these sedans with hitches. As for the market right now in New Zealand, especially for cars, it just depends on what you're looking for, what you're going to get. I think there's a lot of really good options, especially in the SUV range. They have a lot. It's kind of more popular. What's going on right now is the SUV is just taking over the markets. And the reason our car took a specific hit, the Haval we had, on the price that they could get us for it, for trading in, was because that car has flooded the market as well. A lot of people have bought them brand new, just like me and Alyssa did, and they're realizing that even though the car is really nice, it's got a lot of features, it's not very fluid, it's not smooth. A lot of the buttons and mechanisms that you have to use to turn the air conditioning on, or turn it up, or make it colder or hotter, or even turn the volume down, they're like, instead of just having a knob or a button that does it, you have to click in through the screen, and you got to find exactly where you're going in the interface of the car, which is just a headache. It's a nightmare. So everyone's buying these cars, the Haval H6, and then they're realizing, oh, I kind of don't like this car. It's inconvenient. It's stressful. And then they're taking them back in, which means the market's flooded with them. So whenever I took ours in, And I said, hey, this is how much we spent for it. How much can we get it back? And then we took a much bigger hit than what we thought for just 4 or 5 months of time. I said, so why is it so much less? And I asked 4 or 5 different dealerships, and they were all giving me about the same number. And what they said is, yeah, the market's just flooded with them. Nobody really wants them. They bought them and then they decided they didn't like them. So we can't sell them fast enough. Nobody can sell them fast enough. So not here to bash the Haval H6, but definitely a car that's technologically really advanced. It's great. It's got car Apple Play and all those things. Awesome. But it's not convenient. It's not fluid. There's no, it's nice just to have an air conditioning knob. You can just flick real quick whenever it's too hot, or flick the other way when it's too cold. And just to have to go through an interface and go through all the tech and push all these like 16 buttons just to get to the air conditioning. Gosh, that's such a headache. But that's basically what happened, guys. I was wrong. I told Alyssa, and I'll take the charge on this one. I led the way thinking that having one car that was nicer, that would be able to have and use for multiple long years, was a little bit more of a reliable choice. I didn't think very long and hard about the fact that maybe someday we would both need our own cars. But here we are. So we've made the move. We've changed things. We've got these 2 cars. I'll show you guys them here in a second. But I just suggest you guys, I mean, if you've got a family especially, then you definitely need to try to get 2 cars if you come to New Zealand. If you're just by yourself and you're just a single person, then you'll clearly only need 1 car. You don't have to sweat buying any other ones, but just do your research. A lot of things look really good in pictures, we found out, but when you actually look at them, they're a little bit rough, a little bit beat up. So just be wary of that, because a lot of times you get excited and they send you pictures, or you look at different pictures, or you look at the car itself and you're like, oh wow, yuck. So anyway, let's get a look at these cars real quick and then I'll wrap up the video. As I mentioned, the Mazda is a 2016. It's pretty nice. It's just a sedan, nothing too fancy. I actually didn't get the keys, so I can't even get into it because I'm dumb. But there's a screen, but there's also knobs, so it's a lot easier to kind of move and maneuver throughout the car, what you're wanting to do. It is really nice. It's got iStop. I like the car. It's not flashy. What I wanted for a while was a BMW or an Audi, but everybody around me and everyone that I worked with warned me and said that, hey, those kind of cars, they kind of crap out, and then the parts are hard to get and the pieces are expensive, and it's just a lot of fixing. So if you're not wanting to fix a car for a long time, then you should definitely go with a Mazda, which I knew was the better option. I know Mazdas are better options. I just didn't want to have to. Mazdas aren't exciting, no one's excited about a Mazda. But anyway, so let's move on to the Ford Territory. Look, there's that hitch I was talking about. Anyway, yeah, so guys, the Ford Territory, it's actually a 7-seater. It's really big, much bigger than what we kind of expected. And it's nice because it has leather seats, which is really helpful for having children. And also, for some reason, I don't know why in 2014 they decided to add this, but they have a little DVD TV for your kids in the back seat, which is kind of cool. But I don't know how often we'll be using that. Nowadays, people just hand their kids iPads on long car rides, but much simpler, basic buttons. No knobs on this one, but they're easy, simple buttons just for air conditioning. Alyssa was really bothered about that with the last car, so I have to make a point to point it out. And then we've actually got 2 car seats already set, because Oliver, our son, who Alyssa's 9 months pregnant with now, will be here before you know it. So it's just kind of, yeah, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Lots of car seats. I didn't think this would be happening to my life so quickly, but here we are. And then if you guys you can lift the glass, or you can lift the door itself. There it is. And then these are the 2 seats in the back. I've actually got them tucked down right now just because we need a space for the stroller. But it's a nice 7-seater. I've never once heard of Ford Territories until I came here. And then I see them around and I'm like, what is that? Like, I have never seen a Ford Territory in my life. But anyway, guys, so this is a video just talking about how I made a mistake, and that I would suggest you guys learn from it and try not to buy 2 cars, even though a brand new car with all of your dollars you're bringing to New Zealand sounds really cool and really interesting. It's just not practical. Of course, unless you're single, which of course at that point you do whatever is best for you. But anyway, I do suggest for anybody that moves, get an e-bike. They're really nice, especially when the weather's nice. This is Alyssa's. Mine is over here. But e-bikes make things more convenient. They're a lot more fun too. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make a video briefly about kind of some hard lessons we learned. We definitely lost a lot of money on this kind of decision, and it's my shoulders to bear the consequences of it. But I just want to try to help you guys in case you're thinking about moving to New Zealand and you've decided, I want a brand new car. Maybe I'm just going to get one, or maybe I should get two. I just wanted to give you guys my 2 cents on that and kind of learn from my mistakes if you can, and if you want to, or even if you don't. Hopefully you found this interesting. Charlotte is very happy. Mom's very happy. We're all very happy, and we're all very ready to meet our son, our second child, Oliver. He'll be here before you know it. Alyssa's mom's actually arriving tomorrow morning, so we get some cavalry to help with everything. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one as we always do. Bye guys.